First, we need to realize the context. Where we are in Brazil. What is Brazil to a world's context? Brazil is a wonderful place. It has a huge history. Now, it's slightly smaller than the continental United States. It is Latin America's largest country, believe it or not, and it's the world's 5th largest country. Not everybody realizes this. It covers more than 40% of South America, and the borders are Ecuador and Chile. Capital, Brasilia. Brazil is about 75% Roman Catholic. So the different states of Brazil and different places of Brazil are just notoriously, there's so many. And from, well, Roama to Tocantins to Sao Paulo to, from memory, Catarina, and Rio de Janeiro to Rio Grande, from Rio Grande do Sul to perhaps Para. All these wonderful places make up the wonderful people of Brazil. If you want to know all those different places, of course, you've got to go. But you need to know that in Brazil, it's so diverse within itself. There's so many different places. For example, there's over 200 that is indigenous societies. It's incredible. These all inhabit Brazil. So to think that Brazil is just about one thing is, well, it's far-fetched. We are, as Brazilians, not me, of course. I am just one of the educators out there. But Brazilians are people amongst people. They're happy because they have so much diversity. They show this beautiful attitude, and it's through their history that we're going to look at now that we start to understand why Brazil is the way it is. Back in 260 BC, scientists said that there was the remains of a saber-toothed vegetarian discovered in Brazil. Now, this type of leaf-cutting animal was bigger than a large dog, and it lived 260 million years ago. This is where Brazil has been, coming out of. This is the history. Now, in 2012, these scientists, they dated that there was a 40-kilometer Araguaneja crater on the border of Brazil's Mato Grosso and Goa states. They believed that there was a release of oil and gas there at that, earlier times in history. Now, you must remember too, we must all remember that Brazil, like a lot of states, is going to have natural resources. It's the 5th biggest nation. So with all of that, where the sun shines, you get money, and the money is there. If the money is there, people are going to want it. People with a higher echelon of power is going to perhaps abuse that, or is the power going to be abused within the country too? These are the questions we need to bring to mind within videos like this, where we're talking about, educating ourselves about the world and trying to figure out how we can get better with our own world, with our own little microcosm that is ourselves. So these are the past, the origins really of Brazil, and to look at the top 10 things, the things that really make us pleasured by just listening to Brazil from an outside point of view. These are the origins and the ancient origins. But remembering that it's the 5th greatest or sizable nation in the world means that Brazilian people need, and human beings, us, we need to respect this. Every land unto itself, with itself in respect. And so with that, we need to have that knowledge in order to go forward. Because in more recent times, there has been problems, like just basic examples. In 2019 in Brazil, there was things like Brazilian police arresting employees from a mining company as part of a criminal investigation of a deadly dam disaster. Now that's because If there is disaster in a dam, it's coming from what we know now as being global warming. So there's going to be pressurization on our lands, and as I've mentioned before in videos, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, please do. Thank you very much if you have. But I've mentioned the likes of fake food and the need for food to be produced in a different way, because there simply isn't enough produce for the millions and billions of people on this planet. So we have to start doing things differently and thinking about things differently. That's why I'm producing this video, to show you the beautiful things, 10 beautiful things about the fantastic Brazil. And with that, we need to start understanding. These are simple examples about how we need to understand what's going on in the more modern day as opposed to the past. And then to just bring those things together, to make them tangible, to interlink them with each other, so that we can see where we are, both as Brazilian people, if you are a Brazilian person watching, thank you very much, or as a South American, or as just a human being at large who wants to educate themselves. To take, Brazil as an example, Brazil as a case study, the 5th largest nation. Why not? It's South America. And look at it and see where you're going in life, where you could go in life. Would you be welcomed in Brazil? I'm sure you would. Brazilian people are beautiful. We'll get to that in a minute. But all these wonderful things, dams back in, say for example, going back to the global warming example, Brazil's government banned new upstream mining in 2019 and ordered the decommissioning of all such dams by 2021. So again, this is in the reaction indirectly, I suppose, towards global warming. And again, we have to look at what's going on and where we can actually go with it, where we can etch out a future for ourselves and for others. In more modern day history of Brazil, wonderful things. I like to wonder though about the one beautiful thing that I love, the Amazon rainforest. I mean, what geography, what more can you say if we're talking about the beauty of Brazil, if we're talking about our beautiful nature, our beautiful natural reserve that's there, the beautiful thing that it could give the earth, the world. It's a resource that can be there. It's a thing that can be given and harnessed, if harnessed in a peaceful manner. There's works there for people. There's ways of just holding on to the rainforest as it is, to then make it stagnant, make it as it is, and then educate the people around, the people working there, to actually start to rewind back the process and somehow the deforestation that's going on there. So this natural phenomenon needs to be looked after, and the people around it, they know best, these Brazilian people. Another thing, a beautiful thing about Brazil is Rio 2016, the Games. The Olympic Games provided the best possible probably environment for huge peak performance athletes. It was a huge memory. It's a beautiful thing. You had athletes who just had world-class facilities, including there was a superb village in the most beautiful of cities, and it was just convenient to all. But of course, with that, there's challenges too. There was political challenges, there was economic poverty and so on. That's a whole nother genre, a whole nother video. I'm just mentioning those beautiful 10 things about beautiful Brazil. Fantastic people that are there, that dance, the dancers, the 10, 20, how many are there traditional dances of Brazil? The tango, for example, is not one of them, but something that always used to be in my mind when I used to hear tango was like, is that the samba, the tango and all that? Yeah, I guess my feet aren't dancing. But if you go to Brazil, you would be dancing that samba. You'll hear that World Cup song. In the football, another beautiful thing, the beautiful footballers of Brazil. The jongo is another dance as well. So you've got all this rhythm going on. You do not want to see me dance. So I will not say or sing or dance for you on this video. But it is the beauty of the dance and the action and the smile that is in Brazil. The football, I mean, the footballers of Brazil are renowned with all their wonderful World Cup wins. I mean, take the time that they won the think it was the 2002 World Cup. I mean, wonderful. You had Ronaldo, Ronaldo. He was a goal scorer supreme. In fact, it was 1998 that there was a problem with him in the final. But that was just paled into significance because his class shone through in 2002. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Romario. These wonderful footballers, not to mention the past of Brazil, the sporting, the smile, all of those wonderful things. Football is such an important part of Brazilian culture and respected and loved by all the locals. And it brings on this party atmosphere, this positivity. And it's there that the national team had been nicknamed the Canarinho and the Verdes Amarela. And with that beautiful language that's there, the Brazilian Football Confederation, they managed to administer teams in the past, brought them forward, brought them through the 1800s. They brought the English game of football to be their own. They established their own home leagues, those brilliant places in Brazil, the places where the might of the beauty and the class of the effervescent Pelé. This Pelé Edson Arantes, he was wonderful. Came forward in 1958 to the World Cup. I think it was in Sweden. And there he showed his class, his utter class. And he smiled all the way through. Living a long life, being such a class guy, being just hopeful, positive. And it was there that he, again, as a brilliant guy, he just brought football to a whole new level. And starting with Santos, again, it was in Sweden, yes it was, at 17 I believe, he starred in this World Cup semi-final and scored so many goals. I think it was 5-2 he scored. I mean, we have to realise the beauties of Brazil. We have to realise that there are so many beautiful things, not just the football, not just the dance, not just the Amazon rainforest, not just the history, not just all of those wonderful things, but the people of Brazil, the modern day people that are there, that are struggling, that are perhaps in poverty. These are the people that need to be heralded, that need to be helped. Look at the natural phenomenon that is there. Look at the wonderful cities that Brazil has. Rio de Janeiro. These places are wonderful. You have these Rios and they have history themselves. They have wonders of the natural world. Wonderful people, a huge population, the fifth biggest. We need to harness this education. We need to bring it back to the world. And we need to understand that Brazil has music as well. Music that can be brought to our ears internationally. And with the samba, with the dance, with the football, with the history, with the size of the country, with Pelé, with Ronaldo, with Rivaldo, with all these Ronaldinos and these people, these wonderful ability, these carefree attitude. This is our Brazil of the world. Why not? Let's bring it forward. Let's celebrate Brazil in this video. Why? Because it's a wonderful place. It's a place of happiness. That yellow and green flag that has that oh so extraordinary people. So I am happy to have shared with you about Brazil, what I know, just in a few minutes. But remember too, that this is just the start for you, be it you as a traveller or you as a Brazilian. Either or, these are the things that I love to just think about Brazil. Why? Because Brazilian people are the future of South America, the future of the world. And with that, economies can change, people can learn. Racism, it does not work. We need to grasp the ability in the likes of Brazil, in the Brazilian people. And we need to say, hey, world, let's get up there, let's get out there, let's go. They're the wonderful things about Brazil. I'm sure there's many more. If you've liked this video, thank you very much. I hope you will come back. And if you do not, well, visit Brazil. I don't mind. If you do visit Brazil, tell me all about it. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe. If you haven't already, well, please do. So, Until then, have a wonderful day.